You. California dreaming about you.
Hello, welcome back to the Grammar channel, and today we're going to be doing a desert temple transformation. Sorry for the lack of upload for the past month or so. It's basically because I had holidays. I'm not in America, as you could probably tell from my accent, and I was on holidays or vacation for 3 weeks, and then I had a lot of exams following that, so that's the reason for my absence, but I should be able to get back to uploading regularly now, so that should be good. Videos coming out every once or 2 weeks from now on, so that'll be good. Today we're going to start with the pillar here. We're going to start with 4 pillars in the end of each of the temple. So it's going to be 4 big towers with fire, like a sort of campfire sort of thing on top, made out of glass, and then we're going to go on with the actual temple itself. On the inside it's going to be square shaped, but there's going to be plenty of depth, and I'm going to make sure of that. On this pillar here, we're going to be just making this sort of cone sort of shape on the bottom and on the top, so it's kind of flipped around to give it that nice shape to the pillar there. Adding some oak wood. I found that oak wood and oak wood logs, more oak wood logs rather than the actual planks, work better with the desert sort of theme, as well as spruce, seeing as spruce is a very similar color scheme and color tone to the oak log itself. Doing 1/4 of the pillar there, and then just copying it around to the side. I later find that the sort of detailing I was going for looked way too blocky, and way too square for the way I wanted it to look, so I just did some adjustments, chipping away at the sides, and we got this sort of end result once I copy it around, making sure that the oak sort of spikes coming from the top and coming out from the bottom are reduced, so it doesn't limit the visibility to the actual spire itself. Okay, so we're just gonna copy it around the pillar now. There we go. Now it's pretty much almost complete, and as I said, we're just going to take away at some chip away at the pillar to make it less square and more round, which is definitely what I'm going for, because I want this pillar to be circular, and there's going to be too much block, it's too much square feature and foundation in the whole build, so I just want something to differentiate from that, and that the circular pillars and sort of spires on the side are really going to help with that. Just adding this fireplace sort of campfire sort of thing on top just gives a nice little effect to it, instead of just being all one color. Just brightens it up a little bit, I suppose, with some glowstone inside for lighting. Copying those 4 around in places I have marked prior to building the pillar there, to make sure everything's even and everything like that. Just going to fix up some spots around the sides, make sure everything, the terrain matches with the pillars, make sure there's no floating bits, and then we're going to start on the front wall. I didn't want to do just like a regular flat wall, because then I want to give a lot of shape to my builds. That's very important to me, and the way I was going to achieve this is by adding curves on the sides to kind of complement the curved nature of the pillars as well. Tracing the wall with oak wood, as I do with basically anything as a sort of framework. This is more of a decorative feature rather than a structural integrity sort of component. I wanted to make the pillars, the wooden supports, also lean as they went up the slope to give it more direction. Just detailing the wall like that, copying pasting it on the other side as so, and then we're just going to be copying that on the other side of the wall as well, and use that wall as a foundation piece for all the other walls, filling in the wall here with sandstone, just bringing up the oak wood supports up and putting spruce wood slabs on top. While the video plays in the background as well while I'm doing this, I just want to point out why I'm doing it's all got to do with depth. Okay, depth is very important. If you don't have depth, then the build is considerably bad. Even if you have a good palette and good detailing, if there's no depth, typically the build is not going to look too great. For the start here of the actual temple inside, we're going to be adding a staircase that goes up in like a fork in the road, and that's going to go up into a plateau on top, and that's where the actual temple feature is going to be. I just want to point out before we get to the actual main structure that I'm not going to do interior, mainly because of time. I don't have that much time to do it at the moment. I made in the future, and I saw some comments saying they want to do interior on the ocean monument that I did, and I may do that also in the future, but again, no promises. I was trying to think of a way to incorporate water coming out of the mouth of the statue there into the pond, but I couldn't figure out a way, so I just left it there. It's fine as it is. We're just going to be getting onto the detailing of these walls here at the entrance, adding some spruce slabs for sort of support beams on the side of the oak log supports, adding the customary glowstone glass and detailing on the wall on the side. I'm going to be copy and pasting that over to the other side. Everything is symmetrical, so keep that in mind as well. A lot of things are better when they're symmetrical. There are obviously a few cases when it's good to be odd and off symmetry, but in this case it's good to be symmetrical. When we get to the top of the staircase, I just want to add another little wooden feature customary to the build here, flattening it out, and we're going to start on the build. I wanted to make it curved at the back and kind of bend back in, but I thought a square box would still be sufficient, making it the same height as the wall to sort of complement the build, and adding a archway we're going to have a glowstone lighting feature on that wall later on, doing the customary detailing on the walls. Just going to finish that off using glowstone as the lighting source. You're going to see barely no torches except for the entranceway, as you saw earlier, because there was really no way to incorporate glowstone without adding glass in it. It wouldn't look as pretty and as clean. So I resorted to torches instead. But glowstone is going to be the main lighting feature of the build. As you can see, we're only doing half of the actual temple structure here, so we can just copy and paste it on later. As I said, this whole build is going to be symmetrical, so that helps. Also with time consumption helps there as well, just using that same foundation, copy and pasting on the walls, making sure that there's 7 blocks in between each oak wood support, so that the detailing fits corresponding to the wall length. Now on top we're going to be adding a similar sort of pillar, convex concave cone sort of shape. I used the ones we used on the side, in the corners of the temple, and then bring the height down a little bit, cutting out some of the middle section and using that as its as the foundation piece and the tall feature of the temple. Mainly because I didn't want it the same. The reason I didn't want it the same height is because I didn't want it to have all the same features. Using the same, it's fine using the same thing in like its relative sort of in its relative position and job, sort of. I can't really think of another word, but then making it look different and still having the height dominance to give it more depth and level to the build. Now towards the back, I wanted to add one of the statues we did at the beginning over there in the entrance of the temple, but it didn't look as good as I wanted it to. So I just added a small little pillar as well, the same sort of shape as the larger ones, and adding the statue on top there, which I think gives it a nice detail, and adding a oak log on top instead of sandstone, as it gives it more color. Now we're just going to be finishing off the build here, adding some carpet around the place with some pots as well to just give it a little bit more of decoration. It's really kind of unnecessary. Some leaves. It's kind of odd how there's a plains in the background there, really close to this. So you just don't have to worry about that. Just got to ignore that. I'm going to copy and paste the temple onto the other side there. Now it's really coming together. It's really looking good, adding those statue features on the sides there, as I thought it was too empty and it really needed something. So that's it. That is my take on the desert temple, everyone. I think it looks pretty good. It wouldn't look out of place in some sort of desert city or anything like that. It could go as a temple as well. I just didn't do the insides, but I think it looks pretty good, and you could do a lot of things with this using your imagination. But thank you everyone for your time. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. We should get back to videos once every 1 to 2 weeks, so that is my goal. But yeah, let's have a look around the build, shall we? Thank you so much for watching this video as well. It means a lot just to get barely any views on this. It's just a hobby, to be honest, and I like building and I like doing this sort of stuff. Speaking of which, I've become builder on a small server I've been playing for a while now. It's called CastawayMC. So if you want to go check out this stuff I build on there, although it's kind of down the line, so if you want to see the stuff I do, you have to sort of progress through the server quite a lot before you get to that stage. I'll leave the IP in the description, or I'll just pop it on screen right here, and I hope to see you on there and see sort of stuff I do if you like my building, and I hope to see you